What's going on, everyone? Ricky here for GSM Arena. Realme launched two phones yesterday, and following our first look of the Realme 5 Pro, today I'd like to show you the Realme 5. It has a larger screen and a bigger battery, with a couple of differences in the quad camera. So let's take a closer look. The Realme 5 includes all the essentials for an entry-level smartphone. The first thing out of the box is a protective case that sits on top of the Realme 5 itself, which is here in the crystal purple color. Underneath the phone is a 10-watt charger, a SIM tool, and charging cable. Now let's look at some of the Realme 5's key features. The look of the Realme 5 is very similar to the 5 Pros. It features Realme's new crystal design on the back, and although the design is nice to look at, just keep in mind that it's actually made of pretty plastic. Although the Realme 5 has no official IP rating, the phone is built with 3 layers of immersion protection in the ports and frame, so it should be just fine if you're caught in the rain or exposed to humidity. The 5 and 5 Pro each have a 3.5mm headphone jack, but unlike the 5 Pro, the Realme 5 still uses the micro USB port. The Realme 5's display is a big one at 6.5 inches. It's an LCD panel protected by Gorilla Glass 3 Plus. There is a notch at the top where you'll also find the 13-megapixel selfie camera. The screen has a relatively low 720p resolution, so if you'd rather not have visible pixels, the Realme 5 Pro's Full HD screen might be a better choice. The Realme 5 has a huge 5000 mAh battery. Along with a low-res screen and power-efficient chipset, we expect great endurance scores from the Realme 5. It's worth noting that the Pro model has a smaller 4000 mAh battery, but offers quicker 20-watt charging. The Realme 5 is powered by the Snapdragon 655 chipset, and it comes with either 3 or 4 GB of RAM and up to 128 GB of storage. The phone performs well for multitasking, and ColorOS animations are smooth, and games will run great on the 720p display. The Realme 5 has a quad camera setup. You have the main 12-megapixel camera, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera, a 2-megapixel macro camera, and another 2-megapixel depth sensor, which Realme calls the portrait camera. By contrast, the 5 Pro's main camera is a higher resolution 48-megapixel sensor. The 13-megapixel selfie camera on the Realme 5 has all the beautification and portrait features you'd expect from a Chinese phone. Initially, we're more impressed with the shots from the Realme 5 Pro's 16-megapixel selfie camera. Although both Realme 5 models are similar, they are aimed at different audiences. The Realme 5 has a larger display and larger battery, while the 5 Pro delivers better image quality and CPU performance. If you're interested, you can check out our video on that phone, linked up here. Of course, if you have any questions about either the Realme 5 or the Realme 5 Pro, be sure to leave them in a comment below so we can address them in the full review. I'm Ricky with GSM Arena, and I'll see you later.